Okay, so the thing is, people will often discuss how pandemics often set precedents for like right wing movements, essentially within like political discourse. So I think there's like this general hope that like things will improve. Here's the thing though, y'all, like those pandemics generally involved pathogens that actually did have the propensity to grant you some sort of immunity, or they were not intrinsically so severe that beyond their novelty, like when they first emerged, continued to result in significant morbidity and further brain damage. This is repeated SARS. It does not have the features like the other pathogens of becoming less severe or problematic the more times you're infected. So SARS-2 is similar to like common cold coronaviruses, but only due to its ability to continually reinfect. With SARS-CoV-2, it can reinfect and reinfect and reinfect. But guess what? Each infection is just as severe. Shut up before talking about how mild it is now. Why is pneumonia acutely deadly? Because the virus and the damage occurring is in our lungs. Why is that important? Because breathing is a necessary function of maintaining life, at least for humans. SARS-CoV-2 doesn't just infect the lungs. The virus uses something called ACE2 receptors to get into a cell and infect them. Our respiratory tract has a lot of them. You know what else has a lot of them? Our blood vessels. Remember the word ACE2 that I talked about, right? ACE2 stands for angiotensin converting enzyme 2. Remember, especially that first word, angiotensin. Have any of you ever heard of something called the RAS system? System responsible for helping maintain blood pressure. The effect of controlling blood pressure would be on our blood vessels, right? You know what RAS stands for? Renin, angiotensin aldosterone system. Now there's that word angiotensin again, from angiotensin converting enzyme 2. That receptor is profoundly within our blood vessels and our organs. What this virus did was got better at avoiding immune detection. It made it deeper into the body, into the blood vessels, into the brain, into the organs, into the bone marrow. That's fun. I know you were super excited that there is less severe coughing, but your heart doesn't cough. Kidneys can't have a sore throat. And your brain itself doesn't internally sneeze. Because you see, those symptoms match up with symptoms of the respiratory tract, right? What do you think the symptoms would be if it was your heart or your kidneys or your brain? Heart attacks, strokes, seizures, dysautonomia. Even a lot of healthcare workers will say that, they're no longer bagging up bodies like they were at the beginning of the pandemic. That's because a lot of people are dying at home. See, when you're having difficulty breathing, there's a lot of early warning systems, ensuring time to go to a hospital. Because of the damage that's actually being inflicted, the damage is compounding and you're just not recognizing it. It's odd that your blood pressure is now either higher or lower than it was before, or you've developed other new chronic health conditions. Literally like more than 200 symptoms for long COVID. Oh, and the brain damage, that is profound. That significantly impacts your cognitive ability. Of course, the other thing I did not mention was the complete immune dysregulation and harm, which is unfortunate because this is not a one-and-done virus. It's going to keep infecting you and reinfecting 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 you. And 50% of the time, you won't even know that you contracted it. Ignorance is not in fact bliss, babes. It will keep reinfecting you for as long as you let it. Which again really is unfortunate because in the past, after pandemics, when societies went to right-wing extremism, after some time they were able to improve once the majority of members of society were able to return to a baseline. I'm not saying all this to be nihilistic as fuck. There are things that you can do to significantly reduce the risk. You just don't want to do it. Wearing an N95 mask, cleaning the air by monitoring CO2 or utilizing air exchanges per hour or HEPA filters for UVC. There's also testing and staying home when sick. Fortunately, as it turns out, a lot of individuals kept saying, we have to learn to live with COVID without actually ever learning to live with COVID. Kind of like the equivalent of saying thoughts and prayers to something you're never going to actually do anything to change. Instead of thoughts and prayers, it's coughs and health scares. Which I hate to break it to you, babe, but under right-wing extremism, they're trying to build a population, genetically superior, disease-free palm colored. Rhymes with Schmerian rays. Seriously, that was their modus operandi. How did you all forget this? It's a goal they've been trying to achieve. No Nazis and Hitler. What did you think was happening here? Oh, fuck, that's right. Here's the brain damage. Wear a fucking mask. It is literally like the most radical fucking thing that you could do. If you think not expressing sympathy over a Nazi's death pissed them off, wait until you try circumventing their attempts to disable you. That's an actual effective way of fighting back, but I digress.